The whole point of the monetary system, the initial point, or what I would say as a point of logic, the whole point, I know there are other points, is to provision government. Okay? You want to be able to move people from the private sector, move real resources from the private sector to the public sector. People get together. I like these people get together and say, we hate government. We're just going to get together ourselves and agree to do this. Well, that is government, right? And so you start off and you say, we would like to have an army. We would like to have a legal system. Well, how do you get people to move from the private sector to the public sector? You could ask for volunteers. It doesn't really work all that well. It's been tried the way that we do it. Now, they might come up with a better way. Is you slap on a tax and something that nobody has, and then in order to get the funds to pay that tax, you've got to come to the government for them, and that way the government can spend its otherwise worthless currency to provision itself. Now, the way I like to do that, to explain that, is I take out my business card here, and I ask, does anybody in this room want to buy? And this is called How to Turn Litter into Money. Does anybody want to buy one of these cards? They're $100? No? Okay. Does anybody want to stay afterwards and help vacuum the floor and clean the room? I'll give you my cards. No. Okay. Oh, by the way, there's only one door out of here, and my guy is out there with a 9mm, and you can't get out here without one of these cards. Can you feel the pressure now? You are now unemployed. You are not, in terms of my cards, you were not unemployed before. You were not looking for a job that paid in my cards. Now you're looking for a job that pays my cards, or you're looking to buy it from somebody else who will take a job that pays in my cards. When I tell you guys you need one of these or else you can't get out the door, right? And there's 25 people in this room. There's 5,000 people. No, there's 25 people in this room. And I say, I'm only going to spend 24. Okay, I'm now restricting these things that you need to get out the room. This room is now in default. Somebody's not going to get one. Okay, when I first announced that there's a tax, you're all unemployed until I tell you how you can get the cards, the money, to be able to get out. And to the extent that some of you are going to want 2 or 3, it's going to be more than, the demand is going to be more than 25. The demand is going to be exactly enough to cover your need to pay the tax, plus however many you want to save and take home and give to the kids or keep them in case somebody else pulls this in some other classroom, whatever reason you want to save. There's a law that says their pre-tax money can go into your pension fund, whatever. Okay, so there's going to be a demand to pay taxes and to save and accumulate these cards. If I don't allow this room to somehow get enough to cover the tax bill and the amount you want to save, the result is a restriction of supply by me, the monopolist, and somebody standing here saying, please let me earn another card doing something, which is we call unemployment. There is no unemployment as we define it in a non-monetary society. It's always the demand, somebody looking for paid work in that currency. If there's 10 million people unemployed, I've got 10 million jobs in St. Croix where I lived in the Virgin Islands, as long as they're able to work for no pay, right? It's about paid work. That's what unemployment's all about. It's monopolists restricting supply. And the Austrians will agree that excess capacity is always the result of a monopolist restricting supply. Without it, market's clear, you don't get that. So why, once you recognize the currency is a monopoly, even if you don't like the idea that the currency is a monopoly, it is right now, the next logical step is that, okay, now that I understand the currency is a monopoly, that the monopolist is restricting supply, the monopolist is setting the own rate, the monopolist is price setter, not price taker.